Learning about boats, speedboats to be precise. That's cool. This gets me thinking. Um, if y'all don't know, I've been to Alaska a few different times, and when I was in Alaska for the very first time, I got to see a legend, not just any legend, Susan Butcher, one of the female only dog racers, oh, one of the female top dog racers that used to dominate the sport as a female racer. Her methods were very cringe in some circles and very controversial, but after you see it in person, you're like, oh, that makes sense. But yeah, her story's very tragic. She died fairly young, and a tragedy for the sport. But we'll look that up after this. Drinking some of this THC juice. I'm learning a lot about this sport. I watched a few documentaries on the drug runners of the sport, but that's about it. Some of these other ones I didn't know about. Popeyes. I didn't know this side. I remember watching this as a kid. It was pretty fun sport. Yeah. You know what? You're not even hearing this audio.
The boats had become too fast, too powerful, and too dangerous. High-profile accidents, some of them fatal, cast a shadow over the sport, leading to calls for stricter regulations. Fans, who had once been captivated by the sport's speed and risk, were now witnessing the darker side of high-speed racing. And with the rise of alternative motorsports that were easier to film and safer to promote, offshore racing's appeal began to wane. Television networks, always in search of the next big thing, shifted their focus away from offshore racing. The distances involved in the races made it difficult to capture all the action on camera, and without compelling footage, the sport lost its allure. By the late 1990s, offshore powerboat racing had become a shadow of its former self, a sport that once represented the pinnacle of speed, power, and danger, now relegated to niche channels and die-hard enthusiasts.
Okay, we said we were going to look up first.
There's something about mountains that captivate the human spirit. The rugged terrain and towering peaks pose a challenge so indomitable it beckons to us, igniting our imagination and fueling our thirst for conquest. Deep within the Rocky Mountains stands Pikes Peak, America's mountain.
Is there like a full documentary version? I don't know what. Oh. That's just the interview, though. Is this the actual VHS tape of it? We'll go start with this.
Alaska, the last frontier.
Let's see what this video goes to.
The American state is as big as France, Spain, Italy, and England combined, but has a population of just over 700,000. The state sport is sled dog racing, and once a year, its frozen wilderness plays host to mushing's most prestigious race, the Iditarod.
I feel like this song is like the AC/DC of Alaska sled dog racing. It totally is.
It was July 2004 when Transworld Sport traveled to Alaska to meet up with Susan Butcher, one of the greatest mushers of all time.
There she is. I've been to her place.
Between 1982 and 1990, she won the Iditarod 4 times and finished second twice.
I worked for it. I think there's truth to that, and I think that the thing that I probably do and did more so than other mushers is I've dedicated my whole life to dog mushing.
In 1994, Susan ended her Iditarod career to start a family. Born and raised in Massachusetts, Susan moved to Alaska at the age of 20 after reading about the Iditarod in a magazine. She took part in her first Iditarod 3 years later. It began a relationship that would last for the next 17 years, and her name would become synonymous with the grueling event, which takes competitors some 1,100 miles from Anchorage in the south of the state to Nome in the west.
You've got two things. It's longest and it's the toughest competition. So it's like the Indianapolis 500 of dog racing. Then the unique part is that the last 300 miles is on the coast of Alaska, and you have severe storms where it can blow between 60 and 100 miles an hour. And so even if it's not snowing from above, it'll pick up the ground snow and it'll cause these whiteout conditions, so you can't see the trail markers in front of you and you can't see your lead dog.
The harsh conditions, with temperatures sometimes reaching a savage minus 50 degrees Celsius, weren't the only difficulties that Butcher faced as she made inroads into her sport.
There were extra challenges for me because I was a woman and I was having to break down barriers, and I was certainly not accepted well in the beginning, and people would sometimes cheat against me to make sure that they won because they didn't want to be beat by a woman, and these were challenges that I had to overcome.
Susan's first win in the Iditarod came in 1986, and she went on to become the first person to win it 3 years in a row. Her 1987 victory saw her overcome arch-rival Rick Swenson.
Gentlemen, are you ready?
During the final stages, the pair became involved in a tactical battle. When it was clear that Susan would win, Swenson was livid.
She thinks she's so damn good. And what it really is she's real fortunate to have an exceptionally good leader right now. At this point in her life, and when she doesn't have that dog anymore, she's going to realize that she's not quite as good as she thinks she is.
But after winning in 1987, the next year, Butcher won without that lead dog. Her fourth and final triumph came in 1990. Susan's success in such a macho sport helped to dispel the notion that women couldn't compete in extreme sports, and it led to a whole host of commercial opportunities. She shared the same agent as basketball star Larry Bird and pop group New Kids on the Block, and had audiences with Presidents Reagan and Bush. Her success made her a role model and an inspiration to many.
You know, I would get these letters, and it was really neat to hear that some woman who was fighting cancer and could barely make it to the grocery store used me as her inspiration and said, well, if Susan can make it to Nome and win, I can certainly make it to the grocery store and back. And, you know, that's very touching and it's very special.
Good, so I don't have to cut the gloves.
After retiring from the sport, Susan channeled her expertise in dog mushing into the breeding and training of huskies. She spent most of her time with her husband and children at her remote homestead of Eureka, deep in the Alaskan bush.
You look at your dogs, and Daddy came out.
Through sled dog racing, Susan won prize money totaling around $500,000. Dedication and determination were traits that characterized her whole career. But it was Susan's approach to sled dog racing and the treatment of her animals which was perhaps the most crucial factor in her extraordinary success.
Before I won, it was often said, well, Susan will never be able to win because she babies her dogs too much. And, you know, the next year, when I won, instead of coming in second place, they said, well, Susan wins because she takes such good care of her dogs. And so there had been no change in what I was doing. It had just been a changed perception.
In December 2005, Susan was diagnosed with leukemia. She fought the disease bravely, but sadly died on August the 5th, 2006, aged 51. In 2008, she was honored by the state of Alaska when, just prior to the start of the Iditarod, the then governor of Alaska, Sarah Palin, signed a bill establishing the first Saturday of every March as Susan Butcher Day, a fitting tribute to a true Alaskan pioneer.
I actually was there for an Iditarod sled dog races. That's pretty crazy. So, oh, what's this?
Everything was going as well as I could have imagined. Overall, the race and my team was just that which I dream of the whole way.
This?
Not everybody's got leaders that'll go on that flare ice with not even a track. And for so far, I felt so lucky to have Zig and Peter just beeline from marker to marker. But otherwise,
I pulled into White Mountain, and like I said it there, it's like, well, we tried it. You know, we tried to catch up with the guys ahead of us. turned out to just be a really long run, you know, but at least we made an effort.
I was happy about that, but it's funny, I never really felt like I was going to win this race. I didn't let myself go there. Oh, I feel good. Doesn't seem, you know, I'm not going to try figuring out what color truck I want till I get to know them or anything. I've been here before. Things are going great. They don't always stay great.
When we got to White Mountain, you know, Jeff was moving well. The difference in our speeds was not enough to realistically think I could catch Jeff or Allie for that matter. So in White Mountain, I felt like I had a 2-hour window in front of me, about a 2-hour window behind me, and third it is.
But I admit, shortly after leaving White Mountain, I remember going, well, I'm pretty sure I'm going to win this. I was having a good run. I could tell that even if Allie was having a great run, she wasn't going to be gaining on me. It really wasn't until I got to the top of Topcock and looked out over the ocean and got my first glimpses of the weather to the northwest towards Nome that I saw that telltale gray fog.
I left White Mountain and the report was, have a good run. But right away it became clear that this was not going to be an easy run. Even in the Topcock Hills, long before we hit the beach, the wind was hitting us hard, just crushing us from the right side, the north, and the sled was spinning around sideways. And that was, you know, 15 miles before we got to the beach. And when you see wind like that in the Topcock Hills, you know that that blowhole, the whole beach between, you know, the shelter cabin when you come out of the hills all the way to safety, that's going to be bad.
It was after I got through the blowhole that I realized things were getting ugly, and it was impossible to be anywhere near the markers out on a glass skating rink, 20-acre pond. Even on the gravel patches of snow and dirt, the wind was blowing hard enough it was hard to stay upright.
The wind would catch you and singe you, 90 degrees away from where you were heading. We were running this way, the wind gust hits us, and now we're going that way, sideways. The dogs, me, the sled, the whole works.
It was exhausting. A couple times I did get literally barrel rolled the sled.
And we just got tumbled. I mean, if there was any little gap where the sled runner got picked up, the wind would get underneath it and just flip you, just throw you. We're talking hurricane force winds.
It was blowing as hard as it had ever blown. It was now blowing sand and gravel.
And then there were places where I would literally have the snow hook stuck in the ice or hooked to a piece of driftwood and the wind's just blowing us, and I feel like if I let go of this or if this pops out, there is nothing between me and open sea water, like not frozen water, that's going to stop us. If we let go, we're gone.
I decided to let them and me catch my breath and hope that this accelerated wind was just a gust. So I just let them take a break. Most of them laid down, but however, some of them sat up. The wind was noisy, and I had a couple of dogs that started to whine in frustration and possibly fear.
One half of your brain is thinking, am I doing this right? Am I getting bested by the other mushes? Am I doing something wrong? Is that why it's so difficult for me? And the other half, you looks around and says, this is obviously a horrific storm, and I have a pretty dang good dog team, and I'm good at what I do. Are these other guys going to make it, and are they going to be alive?
Having stopped, if you want to call it a mistake, if there was a mistake made, it was stopping. They didn't like it. Some of them hunkered down. Others sat there wondering, what the heck were we doing here? They cried. I covered them in a sleeping bag. And then I watched and realized there were others who would get protection if we were all huddled together. And once I had done that, without a change in weather, I had really made moving on more challenging.
In the back of my mind, there was always the option, you know, worst case scenario, we'll have to stop down at safety. I always send food to safety just in case.
I laid with my dogs a while and kept thinking, wow, it's not letting up. It hasn't let up. But I'm getting cold. I've now used my sleeping bag over my dogs. I'm wearing everything I've got. I wasn't real cold, but I was aware I ain't spending the night out here like this.
It surprised me again getting to safety. There's no lights on, it was completely dark, and all of a sudden we're in safety. I think it's safety, or maybe this is some other random building out here. And the first thing I asked him was, where is everybody? You know, for two reasons. One, this is the type of conditions that things can go sideways real fast. And secondly, is everybody still alive? You know, are they pulling the pieces of mushers off this trail? Has anybody blown out to sea?
Part of me wondered, I'm within 3 miles of safety. I can walk there, no problem. I don't know. It sure made more sense than walking the other direction, and I needed to walk somewhere to stay warm.
So when I asked them, where is everybody, I assumed that had something gone horribly wrong, the first thing they would say is, Jeff got bogged down there, and we just had to go rescue him, and Allie's in the checkpoint, and you're going to leave? Are you sure you should leave? You know, that's the normal reaction. But the way they acted is like, what, did you think you caught them? They're 2 hours ahead of you. That was the reaction that I felt like I was getting. So I said, I'm not going to stay here any longer than I have to. Let's hit the trail.
A snowmobile just appeared like out of a ghost snow machine just showed up literally within touching reach. There's a man in a snow machine covered in a hood, and he was alarmed. He goes, what are you doing? Who are you? And I said, I'm Jeff. I'm in the race. He goes, oh my God, how far is it to safety? I said, I don't think it's that far. Well, we got to get to safety. Do you want to ride? It was a spontaneous yes. We started 3 snow machines nose to butt, and from the moment I threw my leg over that machine and just went, oh my God, what does this mean?
This is one race. The same guys come back year after year. You can't afford to not be a good, I don't even want to call it a competitor, a good Arctic traveler. As dog mushers have done, as long as there have been dog mushers in Alaska. If somebody needs help, if somebody's dogs need help, that's the important thing. We can all come back next year and duke out who's the best dog driver this year. But let's all get out of this thing alive first.
Then the snow machine ahead of us blew sideways. The gust of wind blew it sideways, and it hit the side of the road, and it rolled, and the driver went rolling, and the snow machine went rolling. And I just went, oh my God, it's just like Armageddon. I wasn't even thinking about the race anymore right in there. I wanted to get this person back, get us moving again. It felt very scary. It felt everyone was nervous.
I looked at the video recently that was taken there, and it's a hurricane. My rough is whipping. They want me to grab this pencil. I just literally grab with my mitten and just kind of scribble on the paper. I'm not going to take my glove off in this. And about that time, you know, you are interested in your dogs. You're looking at them. Are they looking at the building, or are they looking at the trail? Are they ready for bed, or are they ready to go? And that's where I have a 2-year-old in lead saying he's ready to go. So I'm not going to stay here long enough for him to decide that this should be a stopping point. But it never even dawned on me that Allie would have had to stop. And it never occurred to me that Jeff hadn't made it.
It was near simultaneous that Allie showed up at safety as well. And she was as shocked to see me there as I was her. And when I saw her there, the flooding reality was I didn't get it done, but she did. It was passable. There was little room for mistakes, and shutting the dogs down there was a mistake.
I feel that Jeff either made the right decision or was forced to make that decision based on his team relative to that storm. Does that mean that the people who did make it through the storm made the wrong decision? Absolutely not, because it's a different dog team. It's not the same equation.
I knew that there's no way I could stay in a race where I had sat on a snow machine. Being offered a ride when I was feeling that vulnerable and feeling that bad about my dogs, it was also so spontaneous, and you know, wished I hadn't done it.
Pretty soon you see the other dogs kind of joining in, and they were straining into their harnesses, and this team doesn't need to stop. This team needs to get to know them, have a pat on the head, and be done with this thing.
My conversation with Mark Nordman lasted about 2 minutes. I told him what had happened, and he very calmly said, "Jeff, your race is over. We need to go get your dogs." There was no discussion. I had a moment of panic when we reached the dogs because the pile no longer looked like dogs. It looked like a beaver lodge covered with packed snow. My panic only lasted a minute. As soon as we started poking and prodding, they started lifting their heads, and we walked them over onto this sled and tethered them on. They were fine.
I think it was when I was on top of Cape Nome and I saw the light behind me, and it was close enough that I saw that distinctive head bob of a musher pedaling a sled, that I was like, that is a dog team, and I would be absolutely foolish to believe that it's a dog team not in the Iditarod. To pass a team out there and not see him was totally possible. But it never occurred to me that that's what had happened. It immediately came to me that my dad caught up with me. So we started moving. I started pedaling, I started pushing. I went from being bundled up for the hurricane of the century in the Arctic to an all-out sprint for the last about 7 miles. And I was sweating like a pig after about 100 yards, but I wasn't gonna stop to shed layers. The focus is, you race to the finish line, whether it's 3rd, 5th, 30th. You race to the finish line, and think about it for a second. Who do you think I would least want to get passed by in the last 7 miles of the Iditarod? I have to live with my family. You know, I see my brothers at Thanksgiving, Christmas, all that stuff. What do you think I'm gonna hear if I get passed by my dad in the last 5 minutes? So as I crossed the road crossings coming into Nome, as I saw the media vehicles that I knew were, you know, the local radio station doing their thing, I chalked it up to the fact that this is the father-son race, which everybody loves to get in on that one, and it's gonna be the first close finish, you know, of the Iditarod. Everybody loves a close finish. It doesn't matter if it's 20th place. Everybody comes out to see that close finish. If you have 2 dog teams on Front Street at the same time, everybody's gonna come out to see it. And if it's a father-son thing, what's better than that? I got across the finish line and pretty much fell onto my sled. I was out of it. A cameraman who I had had a bit of a running joke with the whole race asked the question, "Did you think you could do it?"
Heading down
Dude,
with your
Dallas,
dogs.
you think you could do this?
And everything now started to kind of fall into place. It's like, everything's still here. The people are still here. All the media is still here. And I had to ask, did I think I could do what?
What exactly did I do?
You just won the Iditarod 2014.
Are you kidding me?
And that's when he said, you just won the 2014 Iditarod.
Where's Jeff and Allie?
Behind you.
And it's like, what if they didn't make it? It made total sense. All of a sudden, it was completely obvious. Of course, I would have passed teams out there, and I would have never seen them. Then Allie pulls in behind me, and that's when I found out that she had stopped in safety and that Jeff hadn't made it, and all the pieces started falling into place, and it made sense.
You know, someone had the gall to say something like, "Oh, well, I'm sure the trail this will be some of the easiest part of the trail," and I laughed out loud. I was like, every day has been harder than the next day. Every day has been harder. The hardest ever for me. And I can put up with a lot.
When my dad crossed the finish line some 3 hours later, I had the lucky privilege, I guess, of telling him that I had won the Iditarod. And he said, "What?" You know, I said, "I won, dude. They stopped. Allie stopped in safety. Jeff King didn't make it. You're in 3rd.
I'm proud of my dogs, and I do the best I can. You err on the side of caution when it comes to the dogs. They don't care if they get a trophy. They don't care if they get a paycheck. They don't have to have fun all the time, but they need to have fun most of the time, or I'm not interested. You know, if there's anything that wants me to have number 5, it's that at 59 years old, I know I don't have decades of mushing left available to me to be competitive. I'm as healthy as I've ever been. My team is as good or better than it's ever been. So if I feel any pressure, it's if I'm got any more wins, They need to occur soon.
Everybody in this sport, especially the ones that have a record like Jeff, you better believe I've learned from them. You know, having people like Jeff still in there, it's it lends credibility to whoever wins these things.
More than anything, I'm appreciative. I remember telling my daughters, as healthy as I was, if I was to tip over unexpectedly, to not feel sorry for me. I've had an incredible life.
What Jeff and my dad may lack in youth, they're making up tenfold in experience.
This Iditarod 2015 is a big one to me because my team's as good as it's ever been. I came off of a near win last year, and that near win was the result of having the best team and having the best management. I couldn't be more proud of my 2006 win with the size of my team and the speed and the dominance they had. It was maybe unrealistic to ever experience such a satisfaction again, but I'm going to give it a try.
What I learned is it is about being a good dog driver. It's about doing it wisely and responsibly. Secondly, it's about racing. And to finish first you must finish.
Nearly 1,000 bone-breaking, lonely miles across Alaska. The Iditarod isn't a race, it's a test.
Point, my dog team didn't want to go, and there was no way that I was going to make those dogs do that.
How far are you willing to push yourself and your team?
You know, I was having a hard time breathing.
As I stood there as dogs struggled in pain with broken limbs. He's 1/600.
I hope they can forgive me. I didn't mean it.
And as the finish line approaches, will it bring broken records or broken dreams? This is the 2016 Iditarod. A race of quiet moments.
Skip. Good job, guys.
A race of tough choices.
That's a pretty powerful force. There was no way that I was going to make those dogs do that.
You're a champion, buddy.
And sometimes heartbreak.
Momentarily, it crossed my mind to call for help by pushing my button, but I realized there was not going to be any help at all.
On this trail, records fall. For others, the best-built plans come tumbling down.
I don't know how I can possibly make it right for Jeff and Allie. I hope they can forgive me. I didn't mean it.
And nothing is promised, not even snow.
Iditarod 44.
A year earlier, the Iditarod starting line was moved from Willow, 220 miles north to Fairbanks, in search of snowpack trail. In 2016, race officials feared it would happen again. Backup snow was hauled by train from Fairbanks to Alaska's largest city, where mushers could greet fans and size up the competition. This is where the story of the Iditarod 2016 race begins.
The team that we've prepared this year is the best we've ever done.
Among the 85 racers, several four-time Iditarod champions looking to stake their claim as the best ever.
I'm glad that I've had the opportunity to mentor, but I am absolutely not done trying to get there first.
I won't be just in the event this year. I will actually be in the race. So if anybody's counting me out, I like to say, when you go to Vegas, you always bet on black or red.
And long-time contenders hunting for a first win.
I've got a lot of good dogs. I've got a little bit of talent, and the luck is debatable, up in the air until, the next 10 days. We'll see what happens.
Dallas Seavey is Dallas Seavey, though, and he's obviously the man or the boy to beat. I mean, I'm twice his age almost.
And for others, a search for something more.
It's very healing for me to be out on the trail with my dogs.
Jan Steeves lost her son and then her home just months before the start of the race.
It was the worst summer of my life. Just that 1 sec.
Days after Steve's 31-year-old son suffered a fatal heart attack.
Short final for 07, landing Big Lake.
She learned a wildfire was threatening her house in Willow and her 48 sled dogs.
I was just screeching, thinking I've lost my son, now I'm going to risk losing my dogs.
The house was lost, but neighbors helped to save her team. She made it to the starting line, holding those memories close.
I have God, my mother, and my son.
A day later, the race start is officially underway from Willow to Nome.
And away goes Jan Steeves on Iditarod, 44.
964 miles to go.
Next to 50.
For Steeves, the trouble begins right away. Just hours into the race, Steeves appears in Squintna with 4 broken ribs.
By the time I got to Yentna, I was having a hard time breathing, and I got checked out by the vets. And if I try to take booties off, I can barely breathe.
Her collarbone broken and her lung punctured in a crash.
The best that I can figure out is when I took a turn, I ran over it, and immediately I just went slam.
With the race barely underway, avoiding mishaps like this one is more important than being first. For now, just ask laid-back Nicholas Petit from Girdwood, Alaska, surprised to find himself in the lead checking in at Rainy Pass.
I leave the starting line with whatever I need to do, whatever I feel like doing, or the dogs feel like doing. So I didn't really have any expectation of being first in any place. Just like the start, no plan. We don't do plans. We don't do schedules. We just run dogs.
One musher who does have a plan? Last year's winner, 3-time champion, reality TV star, and the youngest ever to win the Iditarod, Dallas Seavey.
16.
Seavey arrived second, feeling sick, but happy with the trail.
That trail is going to get a lot worse as people go through it. It's good right now, though. It might hold up for 10 or 20 teams, maybe more.
While most mushers agree Seavey is the one to beat, he is about to be challenged by a familiar face, but an unproven Iditarod contender.
Three, 2, 1, go!
The 2016 Iditarod is underway.
There goes Nicholas Petit on Iditarod 44.
Preparation and determination are sometimes outmatched by a little bad luck.
It broke right here, so then it's duct taped. Did lots of stuff out there. I hit John Baker's trailer too. Sorry. 20 minutes later, I was stopped on the side of the trail and he let me borrow his wrench, so I guess he wasn't that mad.
Petit and Dallas Seavey lead the pack, checking in at the Riverside Village.
Yeah, the no plan is the way to go.
Welcome to Nikolai.
Thank you.
Dallas's father, 2-time Iditarod champion Mitch Seavey, is close behind.
The people who are going to win and place high will be here, relatively close together today.
I'm not quite that old, I just looked at it.
The pace and the weather are heating up.
Maybe too fast. Maybe too fast. Been on the break since we started, literally.
I had to drop a dog because of the heat. I even pulled over and gave him a snow bath. My hair's got little frozen things in it at least.
Fresh off his Yukon Quest win only weeks earlier, Hugh Neff has had a strange race from the start.
I had a kid careen down a hill through my dog team leaving Wasilla while all the parents and everybody's laughing, and I'm looking at them going, this kid could die.
Hey, Lester.
news.
Lester, let's go ahead and switch these two.
Things are going more smoothly for former Quest champ Brett Sass of Eureka.
What else do you need?
Vet book and booties. Vet book, the sign.
Sign. And booties right here.
You are good to go, my friend.
Sass's fans begin to notice. The musher who lives and trains alone in the Alaska wilderness continues to pass through the crowded checkpoints, camping alone with his team along the trail. A trail that from here joins the frozen Kuskokwim River onto McGrath. First to town?
Welcome to McGrath. Thank you. How y'all doing? Good.
29-year-old Dallas Seavey. The elder Seavey is just 9 minutes behind, but he doesn't stop. Stealing the lead from his son and perhaps toughest competitor. The Iditarod is shaping up as another Seavey duel to the finish line, but 2/3 of the race remain as mushers sprint to Takotna, a cozy hillside checkpoint. Known for homemade pies, many mushers will choose to spend a mandatory 24-hour rest here. A little quality time for a musher and her huskies. Karin Hendrickson is just happy to be on the trail after sitting out the previous year. She is still recovering from a broken back in 2014 when an SUV hit her team during a training run along the highway.
I mostly just play with them and connect with them and probably take some naps with them and just, hang out with them. Because really, that's why we do this. We like dogs.
A bond that is about to be tested as an unexpected danger awaits. Two of the teams in top contention will face the unimaginable, a fatal attack along the famed Iditarod Trail.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome to Ruby.
Straight ahead. Ha!
Day 4 into the 2016 Iditarod, mushers reach the halfway mark. It has been a quick and relatively calm race, but that's about to change. Hungry for his 5th win, Jeff King just took the lead. His prize, a 5-course meal awarded to the first racer to reach the Yukon River, complete with an after-dinner mint of $3,500 cash. The 61-year-old champion is in a playful mood as Dallas Seavey, Brent Sass, Nicholas Petit, and Two Rivers musher Ali Zirkle round out the first 5 to reach the river.
If I need to make up some time, I can do that. If I'm already in front or close enough, I can back off a little bit and build up a little more speed.
Zirkle doesn't wait around. But so far so good for Zirkle. First to the Galena checkpoint in good spirits.
Was I the only one in a blizzard this morning?
And taking the trail's challenges in stride.
It was entertaining. It was Alaska in a nutshell. There was a little bit of snow and wind. We were traveling on glare ice with a little bit of snow on top of it.
But the very next morning, mushers and fans awake to learn one dog is dead, 2 more suffered injuries, and 2 of the race's popular mushers have come under attack. It was dark, but for the light of an oncoming snow machine, as Jeff King and Ali Zirkle approach Nulato. That's where the unthinkable happened.
About 10 miles out of Nulato, a snow machine went by me at high speed. It was so incredibly close to my sled and my team that was well lit.
Yes,
with
I'm
lights
awake.
and reflectors that it felt very intentional. Several of my dogs were struck. I was not. I was couldn't believe what had happened for a minute as I stood there as dogs struggled in pain with broken limbs and the throes of death for one of them.
The snow machine slammed into Jeff King's sled dogs and overturned Zirkle's sled, each traveling miles apart. Race officials reported that the snow machiner repeatedly attempted to harm Zirkle and her team. King's Huskies Banjo and Crosby were injured, and being transported by air to Anchorage.
I've been told one has a fractured leg, the other is in some kind of better but in shock and of an impact injury of some kind.
But 3-year-old Nash was killed.
I tried to perform what triage first aid I could, figure out what was going on. Momentarily it crossed my mind to call for help by pushing my button, but I realized that was not going to be any help at all.
While King mourned the loss and searched for answers, a snow machiner was waking up in Nulato with a faint memory of the night before. A Channel 2 news crew found him at home.
What happened in your own words?
As soon as I woke up, I heard about it and I checked my snow-go. And I called the VPO right off the bat and I told him it was me. I thought about running and hiding, but I'm not going to run from my problems anymore. I thought I'd just deal with it.
Arnold Demoski said he had visited friends 16 miles away in Koyukuk, and he'd been drinking.
It's been a really big problem in my life, and I hope I can overcome it some way.
Allie basically said she was attacked by a snow machiner out on the river, and that he tried to run her down on at least 4 occasions.
I don't know how I can possibly make it right for Jeff and Allie, but I hope they can forgive me. I didn't mean it.
The news made headlines across the globe, shocking fans and fellow racers.
Yeah, it's scary because dogs don't have a chance against machinery. And when somebody that's of an altered state gets machinery,
we worked so hard to get here, and then some crazy guy comes trying to attack your dogs. That's unheard of. I've never heard of that before. It's just crazy.
It looked to be an act of reckless bravado, attempting to scare me or the dogs. That's how it felt. If what I heard was correct about him turning around and making more than one pass at Allie, then he's 1/6 on her.
I'm not a bad person. I turned around because I was concerned, and I just had so much adrenaline, and it may seem like I was driving erratically, but it's just, my blood was pumped and I felt really bad. I was just concerned.
King couldn't save Nash, but he could make sure that someone was held responsible.
Part of the snow machine, upon impact, flew off the cowling, and I picked it up and carried it back in hopes of identifying who did this.
Oh yeah, it was on top of his sled when he came in.
Growing up in a checkpoint village, Demoski was a fan of the race. Jeff King, a childhood hero.
Junior high and high school, we always used to make signs for the musher thing. I always used to make signs for Jeff King.
Alaska State Troopers arrived moments after this interview to take Demoski into custody.
You're Arnold Demoski?
Yes.
But the race to Nome would continue. 2 top teams delayed and emotionally deflated, and a relative newcomer making his bid for a first Iditarod win. Day 6. The Iditarod reaches the wind-blown Bering Sea coast, and memorials begin to appear. Meanwhile, Brent Sass, who raced ahead of the mayhem, is now in first place with Dallas Seavey on his heels.
It was some of the best mushing I've ever had in my life the last 4 or 5 hours.
For once, he'll rest in a checkpoint.
I really want to get some information about the trail ahead and the coast. It's the biggest unfamiliar place for me on the trail, and that's the one thing you lack when you blow through all the checkpoints is you don't really get any information.
He'll quickly learn rival Dallas Seavey is only 1 hour behind, and his team is looking good.
Trying to get up the coast as fast as possible. In a lot of ways, this is kind of the fun part of the race.
Jeff King arrives in Unalakleet in 14th place, with Nash's mother, Skeeter, leading the team. His goal is to stay focused.
It's very nice to have sympathy and support for the accident that we had a couple days ago, but it doesn't come that easy to everyone, such as me, to keep talking about it.
Allie Zirkle, normally talkative and full of cheer, can't yet bring herself to talk about the attack.
Trying not to. I think I'll talk about that after the race because that was really bad, and I'm trying to get out of that negativity right now.
Tragic for all involved. You know, everybody deals with things like this. Some people are angry, some people are hurt. It was a really big hit for the race.
But the race will go on. Here, teams refuel and prepare for the final push to Nome, now 261 miles away. A notoriously punishing coastline lies ahead.
It's been really hard and fast, the whole trail.
It's a little breezy, huh?
Every year we get to the coast, it feels like the race is really beginning.
Already, there's talk of a broken record in the making.
I am within minutes of where I am on a record run. Either they're going to dramatically break the record or there'll be some people who can't keep it up, one or the other.
But that record, if it happens at all, won't fall easily. And the race leaders will switch places yet again. Two-time champ Mitch Seavey now in front.
I only run dogs one way. I try not to grind them down too far.
The younger Seavey arrives just 10 minutes behind, with Brent Sass falling to third place.
I need to get a little bit of water.
But it's Dallas who leaves first, seizing the lead, heading to White Mountain. Dad chases.
My goal of sorts was to get here with a 20-minute lead. So I'm not saying that we've won the race, because we sure as heck haven't.
Patience and a late race push have placed Seavey in position to win. 39 minutes now separate the two champions, each chasing a dream, not willing to give up without a fight.
I've given nothing for free, including dogs or college education.
Sass now trailing by almost 2 hours, seemingly losing ground, but gaining perspective.
I've been doing it for 10 years, and I learn something new every second.
Here, racers must wait 8 hours before making the final sprint to Nome. Nothing is a given, but the outcome more predictable.
Unless there's a big earthquake, one of us is going to win, it looks like, which would be great for me.
Today there will be no earthquake, no shakeup. The weather is clear. And so is Dallas's path to victory. He reaches Front Street in Nome at 2:20 a.m.
This is Reef's brother, littermate, and his name's Tide. And Tide finished with me last year and did a little bit of leading, and this year he really stepped up. You know, he's coming into his prime.
Becoming a 4-time Iditarod champion, breaking his own record for fastest finish by almost 2 hours.
Those are just numbers, man. We run dogs.
And 45 minutes later, a family reunion under the famed burled arch.
Good job, Mon.
Allie Zirkle recovered to finish third. Her 5th straight finish in the top 5.
Every checkpoint I went through, people were so supportive, and I couldn't just be with myself. It turned out I was with everyone.
And as the Seavey family celebrates.
Dallas is a believer. If it's out there to be achieved, he just thinks it's already his. Usually it turns out to be right.
Brent Sass has left White Mountain, only to return. His dogs refuse to run. Hour after hour ticks by. The big huskies sleep and Sass stays put. When he finally arrives, he's dropped from 3rd to 20th. A difference of $44,000 in prize money.
That was the most embarrassing moment of my life, sitting out there in that checkpoint. My dog team didn't want to go.
For Sass, the race and his dreams of a first-place finish in Mushing's most celebrated race were over. At least for this year. A hard lesson, but one that helps him prepare for the next one.
As soon as I turned around after we went, 30 yards, and I looked back at 10 of my best friends, and they're all just saying, I don't think we want to go anywhere, Dad. I think we just want to hang out here. That's a pretty powerful force. And there was no way that I was going to make those dogs do that.
For about a week each year, you get to spotlight your team.
You're a champion, buddy.
You get to highlight them, you get to show them off to the world, and there's this great event. And then starting here in another week, we'll be back mushing dogs again and doing that until next year's Iditarod.
Looking ahead to another collection of quiet moments and tough choices, the Iditarod is first and foremost a test of endurance.
Let's see what else we got here, guys. We'll watch this. to know the abandoned coal mine?
This is the abandoned Wendell coal mine in the Lorraine region of France. Its towering steel head frames were once capable of extracting 10,000 tons of coal from nearly a kilometer below ground every day. The mine's first 2 shafts were sunk in the 1860s, but most of the structures that can be seen today date back to the 1950s. During post-war modernization efforts, the original 2 head frames were replaced, and a third, larger shaft was added, growing the workforce of miners to 5,000. Just a few decades later, however, the future began to look bleak for French coal. The coke-reliant steelmaking industry was shifting towards Eastern markets, and coal's relevance in the power sector was being challenged by oil, gas, and nuclear energy. Mining activity at Wendell lasted only until 1992, and since then, portions of the site have been renovated and opened as a heritage museum. The vast majority of structures, however, have sat abandoned for over 3 decades, slowly rusting away. Now, join us as we venture inside and discover what's left.
See what's left.
Thanks to NordVPN for sponsoring this portion of today's video.
Thank you, Nord.
NordVPN protects your online privacy by making sure your internet traffic is encrypted before it even leaves your device. Encryption is important when connecting to any public networks, like hotels, airports, or coffee shops, as you never know who is managing or who else is connected to them. Man-in-the-middle attacks happen when you inadvertently connect to an impersonator's network, and they can capture information you've entered, like banking details or passwords. With your traffic fully encrypted, it hides all personal info, and all that is seen is encrypted data, not actually what that data is. NordVPN has servers everywhere, thousands around the world, all in different countries. This allows you to connect as if you were somewhere else entirely, and browse the internet as if you were physically there. Using other region servers allows you to use streaming services that only have certain content available based on geographic location. And with their ultra-fast connection, there's no need to sacrifice speed for better security. You can protect all of your devices, as one account supports 6 simultaneous connections, and it works with all major operating systems. Currently, you can get a huge discount on a 2-year plan, plus 4 additional bonus months. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Visit nordvpn.com/properpeople or click the link in the description below.
The first structure we're entering is wash house number 3, where the freshly extracted coal would be cleaned and separated from any impurities.
This is cool. Little crane on a rail cart. Is it really going to be that easy? I feel like this might be a red herring. I thought it was more of a climb to get into this place. You can look at these rail cars real quick. These are like passenger cars. They have nothing to do with the mine. They're probably just stored here for the museum to use eventually. If this actually goes all the way in, I'm going to be really surprised how easy this was. This looks like it goes all the way in. I think we're in. That was pretty easy. Yeah. Doesn't get much easier than that.
Mm-hmm. That was easy.
All right. There's a chute. Also goes down to the railcar area. Oil spills everywhere in here. can imagine what it smells like. Everything is caked in coal dust from decades of production here. So parts of this place have been repurposed as a museum. I don't know how careful we have to be about being seen from the museum. We should probably be pretty careful though. A lot of the stairs look like death traps in here.
Just piles of coal. It's like a mountain range of coal in here. A locker room here. Sharp contrast to the other rooms we were in.
Should try to go up somewhere, like right here. There's holes everywhere in the floor, but it was cut out, like they were removing something. It's not like the place is that unstable. Okay, that might actually be from the floor collapsing. That just looks like rust. All right, let's go a different way. It looks a little bad up there. And it's looking bad. Oh yeah, up there it's really bad. It's like completely
The main beams are
collapsing.
loose.
Yeah, that's messed up.
There's a scale here. This is like a window into the tracks below. Every rail had its own scale and viewing area where they could see the cars get loaded. It's an old counterbalance scale. I got it pretty balanced already. They even use Toledo scales here.
They just recently stopped manufacturing scales. Like a couple years ago, I think. It's kind of sad. So many conveyor belts in this place. Just everywhere you look. Okay, we still need to go up a little bit more to get to the main area, I think.
Everything's just so rusty.
It's like a 7-foot diameter gear right there. Some Some nice views of the rest of the mine out here. You can see all the head frames. Those are what we're going to try to work our way towards. So over there the floors are sheet metal and all rusted out, but here it's concrete. So we're going to try to take those stairs over there. It looks like a lot of the machinery has been scrapped out, but there's still a lot here. There's a control room over here.
It's relatively modern with buttons.
Yeah. A lot of buttons though. Pretty cool.
These things are cool. But the floor moves way too much. That moved a lot.
Should be able to get over here, no problem. And this is concrete, so. If I could get one level higher, it'd be a really good overview. I don't know if that's going to be possible, though. Possible, yes. Advisable, no. But this part looks really cool here. They're giving a tour down there right now. I think I might try to go up there. I really want to see that part. It doesn't seem that bad. Oh, you know what? That's really disconcerting that even the L bracket is missing for that step. I was thinking at least these would be stable. I'm gonna set my camera down here and climb with two hands. Yeah, this is the view I was trying to get. I didn't use the steps at all.
The railing too.
Yeah, I just climbed up the railing.
The next area we're trying to reach is the extraction point for shaft number 3, where minecarts full of coal would have exited the headframe to be dumped out. Unfortunately, it seemed that any access from the wash house wasn't going to be straightforward.
We just need to get into that conveyor belt now.
Steps right here?
Yeah, but look at the floor down there. We're gonna have to figure out where the I-beams are.
Yeah,
and
go
just
step
only
by
walk
step.
those.
Don't put your full weight on your next step immediately. Watch the whole conveyor look like that.
I'm assuming where there's a seam should be where the I-beam is, but
get it over here.
There's no guarantee of that. Okay, these stairs seem okay. This door is welded though. Great.
It's all welded?
That door is. I can check this one. Yeah, not gonna open. Right in here is where we want to be too. There's the mine carts and the tracks and everything. Okay, so there's another door down there. But I can see from here that latch is shut. I think the only way to get in here is going to be to climb down right here somehow. And there's like a piece of wood propped up, like people have done this before. It'd be better to keep one.
Yeah, I would use the window rail.
Oh, dude. You're gonna just want to come here.
There's an open window there?
Yeah, it's gonna be much easier. This is what that was all for. Pretty worth it, I'd say. This looks epic. Places where you can really visualize the process of how it all would have worked. So obviously, mines with tracks and hoppers everywhere. It's really easy to picture the factory when it was alive.
There's still cars in every single, or most of them. 2 of the 3.
Yeah. Check this out. I think this is like a kicker for it. The carts would have had to change direction somehow. This stuff on the right is all sloped downhill, so it rolls down here. It comes in here, and then this is like a hydraulic piston or something, and it would probably shove it off, and then it would go to the left over here. And then it could either go up the chain lift or up an elevator over there. I'll check out the view from up here before we move on.
Here's the motor for the lift hill. It's a big gear and a chain.
It's greasy down here.
Over here's a motor that would drive one of the tippers. Motor down here, chain driven to a gear system. And that would tip it.
So this one has an elevator and goes up to a dumper up there.
So the rail car would latch onto these rails on the side and then it would flip over. And these rails on the side are what would hold it from falling out the top. You can see how this car is holding on.
And that booth is where they'd control all the rotaries from. And there's the giant shaft frame, where all of the carts would be lifted out of the mine from.
That would go down into the mine. It is extremely rusted. Wow.
So many carts left in here.
The coal cars themselves are rusted through.
Yeah.
There's just insane amounts of rust everywhere.
So cool. You see all those things stacked up on the side?
Yeah.
Those are the carriages for the elevator. Or I guess it's one gigantic carriage with multiple levels.
That's why they're so tall.
Yeah.
You were asking that before. That way they can pull it up so the bottom one can get off at this level.
They would just like load it at the bottom, bringing it up one floor of the carriage, and then bring it all the way up, and then to unload, move it one floor each. And that's got to be why this crane is here, so they could remove the carriages for maintenance. Check out this control booth. You can see some handwritten notes, some levers there.
There's another bump stop over there.
This looks like it would just hold the cart until that thing is ready for the next one and then release it.
Yeah. It's got like the black spot behind it.
Oh yeah. Do you think like fluid would spray out of it or something?
Probably if it was messed
It
up.
was leaky.
I don't think it was supposed to, but it probably happened a couple times, it looks like. Absorbed into the concrete.
That grease is really caked on there.
The second shaft looks like it's completely different for this chute thing next to it.
Maybe just a different method of unloading material.
Yeah.
Like it would come right out of the car instead of going on any
Maybe.
carts.
Maybe a more updated thing.
So this elevator car on the left, it just looks like a giant hopper. I don't see any tracks. So I'm thinking that was the one that used this shaft that doesn't have any tracks coming out of it. I guess they had a way to dump material directly out of the elevator into this thing.
The mine workers would load up on the level below. Into the depths. So this is where the workers would load up, maybe? I don't know, it seems kind of small, actually.
I think there's more space on the other side.
Okay. Not walking through there.
Yeah, you can go around this way, though. So I think right here, and possibly one level down even, is where the workers would have gotten on.
Oh, yeah. And I'm assuming they'd continue on this way originally, at least. There'd be another set of doors here. It's bricked off here.
Yeah, so this cinder blocked area was a passageway back to admin, so locker rooms and stuff. I'm guessing that one side was for coming and the other for going. So you'd be passing everybody just starting their shift as you're leaving yours.
There. Bet you that pigeon has a nest with eggs or something. Even this little piece here is somehow stronger than the other steps before.
Really?
I don't know, it doesn't really flex.
Look at this elevator. They could bring the carts down to ground level here. This was probably for bringing them down to like the workshops and stuff when they needed maintenance.
Doesn't have a full lift system like the other.
No, it's just for this.
It's
this is
probably
the
only
top.
for empty cars and maintenance shit.
And it says transport of personnel forbidden. Just a lot of levers up here. They look like they control hydraulic lines or something, so it might have all been hydraulically or pneumatically actuated.
Yeah.
Alright, so it's going to be too visible for us to go all the way up the head frame, but I do want to get high enough to at least see the pulleys. These steps look like they're in okay condition. This is probably as high as we can go without being too visible. You can see the museum out that way. And there's the washing plant we were in before. I crawled out here to try to get a shot where you can see the pulley wheels, and you still can't. Oh well. You can see more of the head frame at least. It would be really sick to get to an abandoned mine while it's fresh and the carts aren't rusted yet, and you can give them a push and make them go.
The final part of the mine we'd like to show you is the winding engine for the number 1 shaft. This consists of a drum and 2 giant motors, responsible for hoisting the mine cages up and down the shaft.
This hoist is gigantic.
Yeah, still has a cable attached to.
And the head frame this goes to is smaller than the one we were just in. So that means that the one we were in is going to be even larger. But it's probably stripped. It looked like they were using that hoist room for storage.
You could see all the grooves where the cables would go on.
The scrappers have definitely been at it in here. They got all the copper. It looks like it had a motor on each side.
The gauge post is sick, except all the gauges are missing, but the post itself is really cool.
There's one little gauge left. Here's their depth meter. Looks like they had a lot of different landings. Some of the other ones we've seen, it was just like a couple markings at the top, and then a couple all the way at the bottom of the mine. It's almost like they left space to go deeper, and they never did.
Probably what it is.
Yeah.
This booth was definitely added later on. It feels way more modern.
This control panel's pretty nice. Everything's labeled at the top. $1951. This has been hanging up here since. Trying to read the stats on it.
340 volts generator, 3,000, 5,000 volts, 207 amps.
The scrappers haven't got this copper yet. They'll probably be back. My friend told me the scrapping here is like a recent thing. I love this warning symbol that they use everywhere here. It's cooler than your basic high voltage signs that you see in the US.
This side still has the cable wrapped around part of it.
The mining industry was once responsible for the livelihoods of 2/3 of the population residing within the Lorraine coal basin. Today, that number is 0. Recognizing the significance this industry once held, the French government designated the Wendell Mine a historic monument in 1998. As its slow battle with time continues, the mine will serve as a reminder of the ingenuity and toil of generations before.
In today's episode, we're exploring an abandoned U.S. government medical research facility. These buildings were constructed in the 1920s and conducted research by the U.S. Army. With a focus on infectious diseases, the facility was working on the prevention and treatment to stop the spread and develop vaccines. The complex focused research on malaria, HIV/AIDS, dengue fever, and more. During the Cold War, the facility was responsible for the research of radiation effects on the human body. Eventually, it closed in the 90s. Join us as we discover what's left. Protect yourself on the internet with the sponsor of today's video, NordVPN. NordVPN protects your online privacy by making sure your data is encrypted before it even leaves your device. It hides your internet traffic from other websites, ISPs, and anyone that may be snooping on a public network. When connecting to public networks like hotels, airports, or coffee shops, I always make sure I'm protected with a VPN. Anyone can be vulnerable to a man-in-the-middle attack when connecting to unknown Wi-Fi networks, and NordVPN helps make sure my traffic is secure. It's great when traveling or just to get around region restrictions at home. With over 5,400 servers in 60 countries, you can browse the web without borders. And with their ultra-fast connections, you don't need to sacrifice speed for better security. You can protect all of your devices, as one account supports 6 simultaneous connections, and it works with all major operating systems. This is great so you can protect your phone and your laptop. I have a handful of network devices, and thanks to NordVPN, they can all be secure at the same time. Take control of your internet experience today with NordVPN. Right now, you can get a 2-year plan at a huge discount, plus 4 additional months for free. It's risk-free as every purchase is protected with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Visit nordvpn.com/properpeople or click the link in the description below. These are some nice hallways.
Wow, this is a nice hallway.
These rooms have seen better days. It's very decayed. Here's the main entrance.
This is the main entrance, yeah.
There's a theater in there.
The Joseph E. Model Lecture. It's got those classic old asylum feels, but it's not an asylum. Those windows above the doors remind me of spider webs.
We've
You see
seen
that design a
windows
lot.
just like this in other hospitals.
Yeah.
But they do look like spider webs.
Let's see if there's a theater in here. Oh, yes. It's more of an auditorium than a theater.
Yeah. It's got
This is a good one.
almost like gym floors.
I wish they didn't black out the windows, but still. It's really nice in here. You've got sound deadening all over the projection booth. The light fixtures are really nice too.
I don't see much in the projection booth, but we'll go check it out. It's a very basic stage. I don't see much up in the projection booth, but we'll go check it out.
What's the word for wood ceilings like this? When they're inset like that?
It's just wood cornices, or
There's a stairwell here. Let's try to stick to our usual, do one floor at a time and work our way up. Make sure we didn't miss anything. And this definitely seems like the kind of place where we don't want to leave any corner unturned.
This is a lot of plaster on the ground.
I'm only used to seeing this amount of decay in buildings that have been like completely destroyed by like vandals too. Who've been there for that long. So it's weird to see a building get this decayed and still be untouched.
Well, this building has been abandoned since '99, so it's not even that long abandoned.
This is another sort of main entrance.
Yeah, each wing had its own name, own dedication, own entryway.
Look at this plaque here. In memory of the officers, nurses, and enlisted men of the Medical Department, United States Army, who lost their lives during the World War. This tablet is erected by their coworkers of the Medical Department.
This is a lab. These were all labs. The light in here is very nice.
There's a map over here.
Reactor roof.
Reactor roof?
Reactor roof. This facility had one of the earliest nuclear reactors installed to experiment with the effects of radiation on animals. The solution-type 50,000-watt reactor produced neutrons and gamma rays to study their effects on living tissues for the development of radiation diagnosis and therapy. They would directly expose living organisms as large as rabbits to nuclear reactions to monitor and record the effects.
This place is massive though. This is just one floor out of 3 plus a basement.
And directly across the hall is another lab. Quite a bit bigger. All the drawers are stacked on top.
This place is pretty crazy, and we've barely scratched the surface.
This lab has some of the colorful drawers. They're not actually installed, but it's much darker down this wing.
Oh no, are we heading into drop ceiling territory?
Yeah.
That's not what I like to hear.
Department of Immunology. And I did read that this hospital had a large collection of viruses that were high risk.
So this is probably where they would have been researching COVID if it happened in like,
you know,
the 60s or 70s, whenever they were still using this
I
place.
bet you that's what it was.
Ooh, this is a very blue lab. I like how each lab has its own color scheme.
It's like every single room in this place I want to stop and take shots of. It's so good.
Peach colored drawers. This one's an outlier with the general color scheme. Let's see what's behind these double doors. It's probably the connection to the extension.
Yeah.
But what's in the extension? Oh yeah, much newer building here.
Yeah. Could still be interesting stuff in here though.
No drop ceiling in here.
Yeah. It's actually less modernized because it was already modern-ish.
Yeah. It already has built-in HVAC. That's why.
We know we wanted to do our floor-by-floor thing, but having seen the map saying there's possibly a reactor over here, we can't resist just popping down.
It's like a whole nother floor down here. Here's the main entrance. This is less like a basement and more like just more labs.
Yeah. If it's still here, it should be off to the left somewhere. And I'm guessing it's probably going to be below grade.
Restricted access. Just a lab. Okay. Here's stairs down. It's probably down here. Oh, it's really flooded.
This is definitely the right place, though. How high is the water?
Real high.
But, like, could waders get you
like
through it?
Like waist high.
Oh, waders would get you through this,
yeah,
for sure. Can't see much in there.
It looks really decayed.
I just see collapsing light fixtures.
Yeah.
Well, this is definitely the right way to go to get to the reactor. I'm down to buy waders and come back here sometime.
Yeah.
Is this water going to be radioactive?
If only there was like a sign for it, but it was decommissioned in the 70s. Just as access to sub-basement.
These labs all have decontamination certificates. There's a giant freight elevator right here.
Wow. This looks like sample storage of some kind. Ooh, it's smelly in here.
Really?
This was definitely sample storage in a refrigerated room. It smells like disinfectant or chemical.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like they at least decontaminate everything before abandoning it.
Yeah.
They have all the paperwork for decontamination on all the doors. Yeah, the entire room has been topically decontaminated. 1 hour contact time. All surfaces and equipment were thoroughly soaked. And it looks just like 100 other labs in this building.
Yeah,
called it.
Should I?
Yeah.
Last service 99.
This slab has one of those rolly ladders. The wheels aren't really working, but it still slides.
And this will connect back to the original building?
Yeah. And no drop ceiling in this part.
Just a ladder.
What's in that box, though? What's in the box?
Fridge. It's not even that big. It's just storage of some kind of sample material.
Interesting. Yeah, all the calendars in here are 99. Wait, what if there was like mosquitoes in there or something? That's to keep, if they're doing research on mosquitoes. So I saw a mosquito sticker on another door.
They were doing a lot of research on yellow fever in here.
So this is probably so a mosquito couldn't escape and fly away.
Good thing there's no mosquitoes. Look, there's one screen here too.
I like the little arched window in this slab. Looks cool.
Blinds on that way. Another screened-in room. They got screens on here as well.
So you're saying this institute discovered something about malaria, I think?
No, they discovered that yellow fever came from mosquitoes.
Okay. Oh yeah, that it was spread via mosquitoes instead of human-to-human contact.
Yeah.
Okay, it's finally time to go up to the second floor. Wow, very peely up here. Damn, this one is super decayed. Yeah, it's getting a lot more decayed the farther we head in this direction.
No food. And then it says here, Department of Bacterial Diseases. Caution, biological material. And it's like a lab inside the fridge. Department of Bacterial Diseases autoclave room.
So here's where they'd sterilize everything.
The inside of the autoclave is starting to oxidize. You see the green?
Yeah.
It's gonna make too much noise.
Looks very different than hospital autoclaves. They're not built into the wall at all.
Well, I mean, I think that's just a design choice. They're just in here because they were probably added later for whatever reason. This is where they'd be researching COVID. Department of Virus Diseases.
Communicable diseases.
Oh yeah, communicable diseases on top. This lab is so colorful. It's really clashing. Got light blue cabinets, dark blue shelves, and yellow walls. Strange.
I wonder if any of these labs here collaborated with NASA, sending samples into zero gravity and stuff. They still have writings on the whiteboards. I'm gonna drop something on a parachute. Oh, we've got surgical lights.
I don't think they were doing surgery in this building.
No, unless
So
it's
this
on
was-
an animal or something for research.
Yeah, something to do with, research.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's got full articulation.
Go up or down.
This is a medical research classroom. There's a lot of wooden cubbies off to the side for some reason.
There's nothing left in the projector room.
I wonder what's up there. I see some glass block. Might just be mechanical stuff. Wow, these doors look different up here.
These are huge electrical connections.
Holy shit, you're right.
Those
you
are
can
huge.
see the individual phases.
Yeah.
sorted out.
Like these aren't
Wow.
wires. These are like bus bars running through
Yeah,
this.
I saw that in my peripheral vision and assumed it was like air conditioning or something. No, that's like...
These are straight bus bars running through this hallway. For whatever reason. Maybe we'll find out.
Looks like people have been stripping them down there too.
Of course. Some valuable metals. Alright, let's check out the small hallway. The electrical does run down here as well.
Oh, we got lights. There's no table or anything here though. But I bet you they probably had a wheeled one they could bring in here.
Very old. It needs some lube.
Here's a notice related to some radioactive stuff. Department of Cellular Injury. That makes me think radiation. Because what else injures you at a cellular level?
Yes, scrappers have been hard at work in here, pulling out all this electrical equipment. It's completely empty over here. The whole courtyard It's like a jungle now. These vines have grown up the whole building, all the way to the roof.
These are classrooms down here.
These vines have grown all the way past the top floor.
Here we go, talking about working with NASA. They're sending stuff into space.
So the door over there is locked. And then there's this like special circular entry door here. But then there's all these just propped up here.
Oh. So somebody doesn't want somebody finding this
so
room.
let's move these.
Whoa. Old computers?
Big X-ray machine.
Oh, it's the X-ray control panel. That's one of the cooler X-ray control panels that I've seen.
Yeah, this is a big machine. It definitely has more pivot points than usual.
Wow.
Yeah, even this control board had like a full-on keyboard and 2 mini monitors. Just a circuit board, but there would have been like status indicators. So jammed up.
How do the keys feel?
They're mechanical.
Nice. So this says Memorandum for Chief of Experimental Surgery, Radiation Protection, Gamma Beam Equipment. Holy shit. Alright, let's see what this room is back here. Yeah. Oh, yes. This has got to be the main surgery room. And it was probably experimental surgery based on the memos we've seen. Wow. What's this table look like underneath this?
It's not
cover?
supposed to be.
Yeah, it's just a table. It's not
staged.
actually anything.
Yeah. Someone put it here.
Yeah. This was definitely a surgical room, though. No doubt about that.
Kids know the way they walk.
Oh my god, there is a lab called BioBubble/Rat Lab. And they also had a space lab. All the labels are removed from these drawers except for this one. It says gauze sponges, so also checks out. This is such a nice room with the leaves against the window over there also.
There's test result charts on the board. You can see all their different trials and the outcomes.
Administration of agonists at serotonin.
So I'm guessing the more they administer, the slower and more errors you made in these mazes. The endocrine physiology lab.
Do those spin around?
Probably.
This says surgical instruments right here.
Yeah.
Do you think that's like a little surgical area for animals?
Probably something just for examining or testing.
That's where they did rat surgery.
They kept chloroform in here.
No way.
Yeah, you think that's to knock out whatever they're about to do surgery on?
Here. It says restricted area as soon as we get to the top of the stairs. And all the walls are tiled. Wow. This floor is a little bit strange. These look like they used to be doorways or something.
It does.
And what are these little windows here? What the hell?
It's very sterile feeling.
What the hell were these rooms?
This was the doorway, and that's a crazy window. Probably for observation of whatever was going on in here.
Check it out. This says necropsy lab. Morgue Supply Co. Gucci body bags. There's no slab in here anymore, though. They must have took it out. You can see where the drain on the floor was.
Oh, yeah.
Slab would have been right here.
Division of Pathology.
So this is the sign on the door to the necropsy lab. Hazardous materials classification. They had level 4 for health hazard, deadly. Fire hazard, flash point was below 100 Fahrenheit. Reactivity, violent chemical change. Check this out underneath it. Before work, after work. So maybe they were working on like really sketchy diseases up here. And that's why everything is like multiple layers of airlock. Here we go. Biohazard pathogens.
This is the real dangerous stuff, I'm guessing.
No windows anywhere up in this part.
It's completely sealed.
Yeah. stairs coming up here looks quite strange. So this was the attic of the last building, but they built into it with these little rooms.
Yeah, it's very low clearance. This is like where the Oompa Loompas would work.
I would think it's just storage, but it has those laboratory decontamination things.
It's so weird how low clearance everything is in here.
Yeah.
What's this? We saw this and you said it would maybe, yeah, we know where we are. We came up the staircase to go to the floor below us.
I mean, we already knew, but this is like extra confirmation that this was animal testing.
Yeah.
Humane animal care. Alright, so we've completed all of the floors of this building. All that's left is the basement.
Wow, it's really crusty out here.
What is this thing? It says whole body counter.
The patient then lies down in the carrier and is automatically moved forward into the counter. There is a positive control button to press if the individual wants to be removed.
The whole body count lab was used to measure high energy gamma rays emitted from the body. This made it possible to study the radioactive fallout and isotope metabolism, allowing the measurement of natural and attained radioactivity in the human body. This equipment was used for measuring personnel involved in nuclear research, as well as soldiers who were sent to observe nuclear tests in the Nevada desert. At the time of installation, it was only the second of its kind in the world, and was extremely important for the research of the effect of nuclear radiation on the body.
This looks like a, what is it? Like a patch panel.
Look at the tubes.
This would be to patch two lines together.
Like an old telephone operator?
That's what I'm assuming. Or maybe just the intercom systems.
Probably the intercom.
It says...
Or the internal phone systems.
In vitro electronics. Monkey room.
Monkey room? Monkey room.
It says it.
So I guess they had their own little broadcast thing for the facility. Oh, look at this mural.
Yeah. It's mostly gone. We got an astronaut.
The rest of the campus has been redeveloped. However, this building is very specialized and makes adaptive reuse difficult. It will likely be demolished in the near future.
So we stuck to our word. We actually came back here with waders, and we are going into the sub-basement where this supposed nuclear reactor would have been. Maybe it's still there. I highly doubt that.
I think it's gonna be the level that's fully submerged.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna need scuba gear.
Gotta make it awkward.
Yeah. There we go. Strap in. Access to sub-basement. It's gonna be so cold in here.
It's less water than last time. Way less water.
Well, that works for us.
Still too much for boots.
Yeah.
But here goes nothing. Okay, it's pretty expansive down here. I already see an entire hallway.
The stuff you're kicking up as you walk
Oh,
in
there's
the
a
water
dead
too.
rat here.
In the water?
In the water.
This is nasty.
Okay, so far I'm just seeing more labs. There's a hallway that goes this way. Watch for holes in the floor, because there's another sub-basement below us.
It's like a sunken ship under here. Oh!
What the fuck was that?
Something fell from the ceiling.
Alright, which way should I go?
I don't know. It's pretty fucked up down here.
I'm gonna go left.
Okay. Sure.
Oh, I'm caught on something.
Oh, yeah. You kick up everything and I can't see.
You can't see the floor?
Yeah.
Condensate return.
If we like hit something that's sharp down here, we're getting wet.
Yeah. Cannot get a puncture.
There's some.
This is a dead end. Yeah. This is just crawl space.
Something hit me.
Which way? I'm gonna go left first.
Okay.
This is probably gonna be another dead end with just an elevator. No, it is definitely not just a dead end.
Yeah.
So there's another stairwell here. I don't remember seeing the top side of this one.
Probably goes to the extra floor down below.
And this is like a big vault room.
What is this?
Just a big vault room. I don't know.
Vault. Okay.
Yeah, look at the
I see
door.
the door, yeah. And then just 2 more labs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fully tiled though.
That one is. This one isn't.
It goes the same place. This might just be the stairs that go actually down.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the real stairs down. Oh boy. Wow. So
Yeah.
that's where the irradiated swamp monster lives.
So we're coming back here with scuba gear?
It's so murky, even without us kicking anything up.
Yeah.
Damn, so I guess we did all that just for this.
Yeah.
At least we know. We had to know. The good stuff is all completely underwater.
Eventually, scuba gear.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I was getting stuck on a lot coming back this way.
Oh my god, I'm like stuck on everything.
Careful.
Oh, I feel it. It ripped my thing.
No way.
It ripped it.
So you're flooded. You're actually flooded.
Yeah, I'm flooding.
Oh my god. We gotta just get out.
Yeah.
These things are not as durable as I would have hoped.
You got the hole right there.
Nice.
How far out do we have?
Only like 30 feet. You want to just hop on one foot, or are you just gonna say fuck it?
I'm going fast.
Okay.
I'm looking like I look on the water when I'm not stepping.
I think we actually saw everything. That's it, without going down. Without going completely underwater. Was there anything on the wall at all that said like reactor?
No.
Or anything? Like, come on, give us something. Oh, splash my camera.
I'm trying to go fast. Quick step down.
To Markiplier's Halloween Scream Stream. Hope you're having a wonderful Halloween evening. I know I am, because I forgot that it was Halloween until exactly 30 minutes ago. The days kind of blur together, and I don't really remember where I am most of the time, but I know that today is indeed Halloween. I think anyway. Hello, yes, welcome. We are going to play some scary games today. If you're watching this from the future, you can skip ahead a little bit to get to the actual games that I'm going to be playing. But I've got a couple. No, the volume's fine. I'm not going to worry about that. You're not going to trick me this time. I know exactly what I'm doing. Yes. So, I'm good. How are you doing? I'm great. I'm very good. I'm really, 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 really good. Too good, actually. I won't tell you which ones. You did not trick me last... No, I think you did. I think you tricked me last time. Why am I red? Adjust your monitor. I'm actually perfectly well balanced in terms of color. And you just need to adjust it. So, that's on you, not me. The orange-red is too loud. I don't think so. If you're saying that the orange-red is too loud, guess what? You just insulted Amy. That's the scariest thing you could have done. Amy set up all these. Amy did this. You insulting Amy? Can't believe it. This is ridiculous. I know. It's absolutely ridiculous. Is this an Iron Lung teaser? I'm gonna say yes, and if you can't figure out what the meaning is, then you don't understand anything that I do ever. And that's fine. Yes. You're from the future, and this is too quiet. You should have been listening in the present. Can't hear me? I don't believe you. Yes, I look normal. Why? Well, I haven't gone that far into the future, I suppose. Yes. So yes, we're going to be playing some scary games. Some of the things that I've fallen behind on, because there have been many scary games since last I was even present on YouTube. A few. I'm going to start off with a shorter one, just to warm up into it, get people engaged. And I have no idea if it's actually good or not, but it is, I think. Yeah, 1 second. Let me actually see this. Yeah, how long is this one? I think it's a shorter one. I don't actually know. I usually go by the amount played by people that review it, and some of these are saying like 4 hours. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. I don't even know. All right, whatever. I'm gonna boot this up, and we're gonna get going. It's weird. Anyway. No. Even if it wasn't a shorter one, I'm only gonna play it for a little bit here. So let me load it up. Hold on. Everybody hold on. I gotta move things around. Because I used... Is that getting louder? I used to have another monitor right here, and I don't have one right now. And so I have to shift everything over there to be able to play anything and see anything, and it's a pain in the ass. And I don't know why I didn't get one. I had time before the stream started to get one, and I didn't. I don't know why. I blame Chica, honestly. Did I break it? No, I haven't even loaded it yet. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Although sometimes it does like to load on this monitor here, and that really breaks everything, so I hope it doesn't. Okay, good. We're okay, everybody. All right, hold on. Okay, you can't see anything yet. You can't see anything yet, because there's nothing to see. You can't see anything yet. There's nothing to see. All right? So I'm going to turn this off. Sorry, everybody. I know it's deathly quiet all of a sudden, but it's for a good reason. All right. Kaboom! Why can't I hear anything? Oh, God! This does nothing, really? Why does this one do nothing? Just rain, God. Alright, hold on. Okay, you still there? Here we go. We're gonna play... This is just a warm-up. This is a warm-up. Trust me. This is gonna be the spooky... Sorry, I didn't... Did I... Was I peeking the mic there? I don't think I've ever peeked this mic. I don't know why I'm still using this mic anyway. It's a good mic, but I have a better mic literally in a box right left to me. Right left to me. I don't know. All right, you guys say when. You guys say when. There's a long delay, so I'm going to slowly increment it up, okay? You say when, though, and I'll revert it back 10 seconds from where it was. Okay, here we go. When? I see when. 10 seconds ago was there. All right, can we not say when? Let's say right now, because you have to type something and you can't help yourself. Why don't you say why right now? Why? And then anyone that joins now is going to be really freaked out because all of you saying why is kind of concerning. So you just say why. Say why. Okay, cool. We're all saying why. We're all saying why. All right? Okay, say when. No, say when it's loud enough. Oh, I saw it when. Right about there? Is that we agree? We agree? Is that good? Thumbs up? Thumbs down? Yeah? Did we do it? Did we actually do it? Wow. I can't believe it. Wow. What the hell? What the hell? All right. Okay. All right. Can't believe it. All right, let's do this. All right. Oh, God.
Hey, wake up.
What the fuck? You picked it! You picked the volume! See? It's not so easy now, huh? All of you thinking that it was easy to get the volume right, you were listening and you didn't even get it right! So, ha! Ha ha! That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Anyway, actually, the secret is I have a knob here that can adjust it at any time. I don't need to go buy the in-game stuff. I have a knob here that can turn it down. So I'm going to do that. I don't know why it's so loud. That's what happens. All these different games, sometimes they're on a freaking logarithmic scale, and I don't even know if most of you know what a logarithmic scale is, but it just goes to show that there's an exponential curve to what the volume is going to be. And I don't know why a game developer would put an exponential curve, but it's probably because decibels are actually a logarithmic scale of sound. It's just actually pressure. It doesn't even make any sense why it's logarithmic. You get some games where you're like on 100% volume, you go to 50%, it's barely a decibel lower. It's barely lower. And then you go to 10% if you want it slightly quieter. Hey, I got something to show you. Take a look at this. It's a Ryobi air horn. I want to buy that so bad. It's a game changer. It says it's got 4. It's so funny. It's so stupid. Look at this thing. It's so dumb. Hang on, wait, let me show you. It's a game changer, guys. It's the ultimate. Listen, flip it in your brain. It makes sense. It's the ultimate. Anyway, sorry. Oh, what were we doing? Oh yeah, we were playing a game. What? Where I am? Oh, jeez. Oh, my God. Good Lord. All right, so what this game is it's like Exit 8, but you're driving, right? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. What? Oh. Why can't I hear anything? Now I can't hear anything. What? This doesn't make any sense. Okay, there we go. All right, we're back in it. I don't know. This is how the driving is. I barely tap. It's okay. Anyway, pay attention to everything around us because we need to pay attention for any anomalies. I missed that. Hello. Okay. Oh. Well, I don't know. What does that mean? Okay, so we're paying attention for anomalies, and then I'm not exactly... Oh, well, I guess I should have... okay. When observing an abnormal phenomenon, turn to the right. If not, turn left. Please do it. That's a bit close. Please do it, okay? Well, I don't exactly know what would be a phenomenon. Okay, but anomalies go right. No anomalies go left. And because this is the first time we're doing this, I don't think there's going to be any anomalies because it all has to be kind of baseline, right? Okay, welcome. Right. So, you're there. Okay. No, we're not there yet. We're still working on it. Okay, good. See, we got 1. All right. Tire change, drink. We got the ambulance. Welcome. Okay. Hit the cones. I don't want to hit the cones. Why would I hit the cones? Okay, nothing there. Sign says welcome. Okay, still got blood stains on it. You're there. You seem fine. Okay, I didn't see any anomalies. Right? Didn't see any. Should have been fine. Right, okay, that's good. Okay. Tire change, drink, welcome, ambulance. Deer. I didn't see the deer crossing sign before. Was that there before? Was there a deer crossing sign there before? No, we're not there yet. Hold on. I don't remember a deer crossing sign. Wait a minute. What the hell? Who's fapping? Who's edging their sleep? Were there 2 exclamation marks there? Hey, thanks. Hey. Thank you. Well, thank you. Hey. Hey, how's it going? Hey, thank you. All right, thank you. Hey, appreciate you. Hey, appreciate. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Anyway, normal. All right, so that's one. I don't exactly know how many to get to the end, unless it is 8. Okay. Tire change, drink, welcome, ambulance, deer. That's fine. Oh, I can give you an Edge of Sleep update after this, but we're here for the scares. Nothing more. Welcome, 2 exclamations. What's up with you? You seem fine. Okay. Alright. Seems good. I don't think I'm going 180, but what do I really know? Okay, good. Alright. Phenomenon 4. Tire change. Drink. Welcome. Deer crossing. Ambulance. Skagoosh. Okay. House. Trees. Welcome. This lady. Something. Did you get taller? You better not have. I'm telling you. I don't think there's an anomaly. I don't think any. I think we're good. Okay. Okay, good. Right. Alright, anomalies. Tire change. Drink. Welcome. Deer crossing. Ambulance. Okay. Building. Door closed. Empty. Welcome. You. Oh. Don't mind me. Sorry. Maybe it's just because you look weird, but... Did you always have an idle anime? It's probably fine. I think it's fine. Yeah. Yeah, there was a window. There was a window there. You just missed it if you didn't see it, but there was a window. I didn't see anything strange. Yeah. And this is why I'm in charge. Okay, tire change, drink, welcome, ambulance, deer crossing. Okay. That's all fine. That's all good. Whoa. I don't even know. Wait, what am I driving? Whoa. Hold on. Sorry. I just need to see if this is right. Welcome. Yep, that's still fine. Go back? What do you mean go back? No, I'm not turning the wrong way. I'm doing it right. Don't try to swerve me. I know, the number is going up because there's nothing. There's nothing. There's nothing. This is fine. See, it's 7 now. See, 7. Why is that happening? Stop. Why is that happening? I'll fix it later. Anyway. No, I'm not doing it wrong. You're gonna make me miss something because I'm looking at your stupidity when my genius needs absolute silence to be able to do anything. You're lucky that I'm streaming this at all because the amount of smartness that I need to put forward in the world is being detracted by all the dumb. Okay? Tone down the dumb so that we can make way for my smart. Alright? Tire, drink, welcome. Deer crossing, there was the ambulance before. Just let me do the investigative journal. Oh, I saw something. Did I see something? I didn't see something. I lied. Sorry. I like to lie. Okay. Fine. Welcome. Well. Okay, I didn't plan that. This is not a subtle Edge of Sleep tie-in, but what in the hell? What is that? That's a fucking whale. I knew I'd get the Route 8 Edge of Sleep plug promotion. Yep. Nah, that's the same. Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. I don't know why my de-esser is going crazy. Mujinshi? Why? Mujinshi. That's Mujin City. Tire change, drink, welcome. Oh, I did it? I did. Oh, there's more. Oh! Uh-oh, oh God, hold on.
Who are you?
Who am I? Who are you? Okay, so there's more What? What? I got one anomaly out of 57? I got woman clapping. It didn't even put whale on the... What? No, I don't want to see that one. I don't want to see woman clapping. Why would I want to... You don't even have whale on here. Where's whale?